Today is February 18th, 2019. I wanted to show my seed starting setup and what I have going. Right now I am using 3 double bulb 4-foot fluorescent T12 lights on each shelf. I built my rack out of 2x3s. I tried to do a halfway decent job by notching and whatnot. It's not too professional, but it's good enough for the basement. So I designed it so I could fit 4 flats, 72 cell flats per shelf. So 4 flats times 72 is 288 starting plants per rack. The second one down there would get 288 more. That would be 576 plants. And if I had to expand to the top and hang lights from the rafters, that would be another 288, which would give me 864 plants total that I can start. Chances are I'm not going to start that many, so 2 will probably be sufficient. I have the other lights to hang when I'm ready, but right now not there yet. It's still early in the season. But now, if you're growing sweet potatoes, you should have some roots forming by now, and if you haven't started them, you probably want to get them in if you're in a colder zone like me. This is one of those purple ones we got at the organic store, and as you see, it's already starting to root. With these sweet potatoes, you want to soak them in water, leave about, a third or a quarter of them out, and let them root. The back one there has a lot of roots. Some of the sweet potatoes have roots. This is for regular sweet potatoes. You pretty much put them in water and you let the bottoms root out. Then they're going to grow slips on the top, little plants, and you cut those off and root those. Then that's what you plant. So my sweet potatoes are coming along. I was experimenting with some lighting situations, and I started these about a month ago. These are some herbs, some basil and whatnot. I don't expect these to make it till spring because that's a warm weather crop, and that's months away still. So they'll probably be harvested or used before they go out, start using the leaves. But anyway, I got those going. Today I went ahead and started my first 72 cell flat. I did 4 trays of onions at 6 each, so that's 24 onions. You'll want to start your onions early, around this time for zone 5, if you're planting them from seed, because they're going to grow into cells. I overseed those, and then when I transplant them into a bigger container, I break them in half, so I amplify my production. If you're going to grow Brussels sprouts, you want to get those going early so they could transplant out there. Spinaches could also be grown under glass, or could go out when it's, before the frost. Chives, lavender, oregano, and some parsley. All these are cold weather herbs and crops that could go out, except the onion, but they take some time to mature. The advantages of growing the onion by seed is that it's a first year crop, and the onions will be larger if you grow them by seed rather than by bulbs. If you grow them by bulbs, it thinks it's a second year crop. Then for the kids, I let them plant, a tub of spinach, some salad greens, some kale. In the back there, I have a couple other onions and whatnot going from like about 2-3 weeks ago, which haven't taken off good. Again, that was experimenting with other type of LED lights, but I decided to return to the fluorescents because it's a proven method, and I don't have the LEDs worked out perfect yet. So I'll continue to work with them, but for this season I'm going to start getting everything going under my fluorescents again. I usually leave the timer on at this stage for 18 hours a day. After I get a good set on everything, I might turn it back to 15 or 14, but there's a timer down there. It's always handy to have a nearby water source for watering and whatnot. So I have my slop sink next to the garden chamber. You could hear my heater in the back. My furnace stays relatively warm down here. I did order a heating mat for this year. The heating mat would go under 2 of these trays at once. So for the warm weather stuff, and peppers and whatnot, you get a better germination rate if you heat them. So, of course, I'm going to hear that this is too far away here, which it is, but I just planted them today, so I'm not going to raise them yet until I see some sprouts, or in the next couple days. Then I'll put stuff under this tray and raise this up closer to the lights. As you see, the plants back there, a lot of them are getting close to the lights, about 2-3 inches away now, so they're already established and they're not too leggy. They pretty much came out alright, so they're gonna continue as they are. Yeah, so in the upcoming weeks, more and more stuff starts going in. Now remember, in a system like this, most of these plants are going to be outside, besides the basils and whatnot, but most of these tray ones and a lot of other stuff will be outside by the time you start the warm weather crops in here. So even though I could grow 500 some odd plants in here, I could grow a lot more than that because they're going to be on cycles. And I have the greenhouse coming, which would be beneficial to get even more plants out there quicker. So that's where I am on February 18th, 2019. I'll try to post some updates on how the garden comes out this year, how the growing season progresses. But that's it for now.